In every industry, there is a group of people who seem to have it all figured out. They charge premium prices, they attract the right opportunities, and they don't have to chase. They enjoy what they do, and yes, they make more money. These are what we call the in demand entrepreneurs. You know the ones, they are respected, people want to work with them, and they've built something that feels aligned with their passion and purpose. So, how are they doing it? And what are they doing that the rest of us miss or avoid or don't even know about? And today we are going to break it down. I'm going to walk you through the three layers that exist in every industry and how to move through them. Because once you get this, it can change everything: your income, your influence, your opportunity, even your joy in doing your work. All right, the first layer is the amateur entrepreneur. We all start here. Amateurs are new, they're figuring things out, learning the ropes, gaining skills, testing the water. They usually don't earn much because they're still building that foundation. But that's okay. At this stage, no one knows who you are yet. You are one of the many, and your voice blends into the background. People don't trust you enough to pay for your expertise because they simply don't know you yet. And the goal here is to grow your skills and build a reputation so you can move on to the next level. The second layer is the struggling entrepreneur, and this is where most people get stuck. They've got some skills, they entered the game, they're making decent money, but here's the catch: they're still trading time for money. They are usually working really hard, they hustle, and they get paid, but there is a ceiling. They can't scale, they can't grow, and most of all, they're exhausted. And if you're here, it may feel like a constant battle to be noticed, and you're caught in this cycle of trading time for money, and you just haven't quite figured out how to create leverage. People do know this struggling entrepreneur, but they're not necessarily seen as expert or thought leaders. And they're still working hard for every dollar because time is their only assets here. And it's like being in the shadows, trying to get noticed, but still struggling to break free from that work to income cycle. And this is 90% of people. And unfortunately, what got them here won't get them to the next level. So the problem is, without the right systems and higher level visibility, you can only go so far. Therefore, you're trapped in that rat race because what it is required to become an in-demand entrepreneur is totally different from what is required to be just a worker in your business. Now, the third layer is the in-demand entrepreneur. This is the game changer. The in demand entrepreneur has stepped into a new world, the authority space. And these are the people who have built personal brands that known, liked, and trusted in the niche. They have created intellectual property and media assets that do the heavy lifting for them. They don't hustle for every dollar because they have created leverage, and people are actively seeking them out. Opportunities are flowing in, and they don't chase after clients. The clients come to them. They don't hustle for every dollar because they've built the system that work for them, allowing them to leverage their knowledge, their content, and influence. These are the people who become the go-to person in the niche. And they may not be necessary people who you recognize on the street or stop for autograph, but they are trusted and respected for their expertise within their own industry. So this shift isn't about just recognition. It's about having the power to change the rules in your industry, have fun, and attract people who respect you, who wants to work with you. And here's the good news: they're not unicorns. They've just embraced a different approach, and they've leaned into the 5 key things that most people avoid doing. Now, before we move on, let me just quickly interrupt here. I am running a workshop on exactly how to do these 5 things, and I'll walk you through step by step how to get clear on your message so people instantly get what you do, how to design offers that scale and serve the right clients, how to raise your visibility online, and what's working right now for others who have already made the shift to become in-demand entrepreneurs in their own niche. And it's a live interactive workshop, and you'll be able to ask me questions directly. So if you're ready to make your next move with confidence and clarity, join me. There's a link in the description, so all you need to do is just click it and book your spot. All right, back to the 5 things in-demand entrepreneurs do differently. Number 1 is clarity. Can you clearly and confidently tell people what you do, why it matters, and why you're different or why your business is different? Trust me, after coaching more than 800 entrepreneurs over the years, most people don't have their clarity figured out within themselves, let alone communicating that with the world. If you can't explain what you do simply, no one is buying in. Clarity in your messaging is how in-demand entrepreneurs enroll others into the new way of thinking. It's your brand story, your mission, your why. It's how you light people up when you speak. And it's not with some generic, I help people do so and so statement, right? People don't buy what you do, they buy into why you do it. So pitching with clarity is how you plant that seed. Number 2 is content. Now that you have clarity in your messaging, you need to be putting these ideas out there. Videos, podcasts, social posts, blogs. The format doesn't really matter. The point is, in today's world, your audience needs to see and hear from you before they ever purchase anything from you. And content is what drives that connection. People don't fall in love with businesses anymore. They fall in love with people, with your stories, with the content, with the person behind the mission. And your content is your trust builder. It is how people would fall in love with your brand before they even meet you. And number 3, offers. Struggling entrepreneurs sell time. In-demand entrepreneurs sell offers that can scale. If your best customer lives halfway across the world, they should still be able to buy from you because we now live in a global digital economy. So create offers that serve the world. Things like digital programs, templates, membership, scalable services, products that can be easily shipped. So stop selling hours, start creating assets. And that is how you can start making money while you sleep. Now that you have your offers, you need a strong online profile because your audience can't buy from you if they don't know you exist. Now that you have an amazing offer that can be shipped all around the world, people need to know who you are. And that doesn't mean becoming a celebrity. It means becoming known for your expertise. And you do that by sharing valuable content that solves a real problem and showcases your unique way of thinking. Build your visibility, get on podcasts, collaborate, speak, get featured, show up consistently online. And your goal is simple. Be seen as the go-to person in your niche so that whenever people think of a problem, they think of your name. Number 5, collaborations. No one builds success alone. In-demand entrepreneurs form strategic alliances. They find people with audiences, platforms, and complementary offers, and they create win-win partnerships. You might want to collab with the well-known experts or celebrities. Plug your offer into their platform or align with a brand that complements you, because partnerships are powerful and they're usually reserved for people who are worth partnering with, right? And this is something that a lot of struggling entrepreneurs don't even think about, or rather, sometimes they do think about partnerships, but then they don't have all the other 4 assets to back it up, so that whenever you partner with someone, but then you don't have the clarity, the offers, the online profile, the content to back it up, that's where your partnerships fall flat. So let me ask you this. Which layer are you operating in right now? Are you still doing all the work yourself, or are you starting to build the assets and the visibility that lets you step into being in demand? The good news, you don't need millions of followers or decades of experience. You just need the right strategy and commitment to show up and do work that matters. And I love to help you make that shift. So if our upcoming workshop sounds like the right next step, click on the link in the show note and come join me. Listen, we're living in a time where 70% of the world has fast internet and 1.5 billion people speaks English, or if you speak any other language, the more the merrier. And that means you have the ability to reach almost anyone with the right message, right strategy, and the right system. And every niche is breaking into micro communities, and each one of those communities need a leader. You don't need millions of followers. You just need the right people to see your value. So if you're ready to stop being overlooked and finally become that in-demand entrepreneur, take action now. And hey, if this resonated with you, hit like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share. It really helps that more people could see this. And I personally read every single message. Let me know. Are you building towards becoming an in-demand entrepreneur? Which of the 5 focus areas do you need to master next? I see you in our next video.